Once upon a time, there lived a sweet little girl. She always wore a red silk cap that her grandmother made for her. The cap suited her so well that everyone called the little girl Little Red Riding Hood. One day, Little Red Riding Hood's mother said to her, "Little Red Riding Hood, your grandmother is ill. Take this wine and cake to your grandmother. The forest is a very dangerous place, so go straight to grandmother's house," warned Mother. "All right, Mother, I will be careful." Little Red Riding Hood took off to the grandmother's house. The grandmother's house was deep in the woods far from the village. She met a wolf at the entrance of the woods. Little Red Riding Hood had no idea how sly the wolf was.
"Where are you going, Little Red Riding Hood?"
asked the wolf. "My grandmother is ill, so I am going to visit her with this wine and cake."
"Oh, is that so? I am so sorry to hear that. Where is your grandmother's house?"
"It's right there in the woods," Little Red Riding Hood answered, pointing in the woods ahead of her. The wolf thought to himself,
"This little girl will make a fine meal. I will eat both the little girl and her grandmother."
The wolf thought of a trick. The wolf was even more kind to Little Red Riding Hood so he could trick her.
"Are you taking flowers? Your grandmother would feel so much better if you gave her flowers."
Little Red Riding Hood looked around. She found pretty flowers in the woods. "Thank you, Mr. Wolf. My grandmother will be glad to see these lovely flowers." Right after she thanked the wolf, she was busy picking flowers. She forgot how Mother warned her about not getting sidetracked. Meanwhile, the wolf rushed to grandmother's house. He knocked on the door. "Who is it?" Grandmother asked with her weak voice. The wolf cleared his throat and pretended to be Little Red Riding Hood.
"It's Little Red Riding Hood. Mother told me you were ill, so I came to bring you some wine and cake. Please open the door."
Come in, my dear. The door is open. I am too weak to get up. As soon as he entered the room, the wolf gobbled up Grandmother.
Where shall I hide? Aha! If I dress up like Grandmother, Little Red Riding Hood will think I am her grandmother and come near me. Then I will gobble her up.
The wolf changed into Grandmother's clothes, closed the curtains, and turned out the lights. The wolf climbed and lied in the bed, waiting for Little Red Riding Hood to come. Little Red Riding Hood finally arrived. Grandmother, I am here! Little Red Riding Hood ran inside the house with an armful of flowers. But Grandmother was lying still in the bed with a blanket covering her entire body. Little Red Riding Hood went to the side of the bed and opened the curtains. However, she found something strange about her grandmother. Pointy ears were sticking out of her cap. Oh my! Grandmother, why have your ears grown so large? Little Red Riding Hood asked surprisingly.
They have grown so that I can hear you better, my dear.
The disguised wolf warmly replied with his hoarse voice. Then why have your eyes grown so large?
They have grown so I can see your pretty little face even better.
Then how about your large mouth?
So I can gobble you up!
Then he got up from the bed and gobbled up Little Red Riding Hood. After eating both Little Red Riding Hood and her grandmother, the wolf began to feel very sleepy.
Ah! Now that I am full, how about I take a short nap?
The wolf tucked himself in the warm blanket and fell asleep. The wolf fell into a deep sleep and started snoring. At that time, a hunter passing by stopped to get some water from Grandmother's house. Nobody but a large snoring wolf was sleeping on the bed. The surprised hunter slowly crept toward the wolf. But the wolf just continued to sleep. Then a voice came out from nowhere. Please save us! We are in the wolf's stomach! The hunter was stunned.
You bad wolf!
The hunter grabbed a pair of scissors from a case and cut the wolf's stomach carefully. Little Red Riding Hood and her grandmother were able to escape from the wolf's stomach. Oh, thank you, God, said Grandmother as she sighed.
Oh, thank you for saving us. Oh, it was so dark and scary inside the wolf's stomach. Oh.
Little Red Riding Hood thanked the hunter. Then Little Red Riding Hood ran out and filled her basket with stones and stuffed them inside the wolf's stomach. The wolf woke up and tried to run away, but he couldn't move because he was too heavy and he died in the end.